Nikol Alexander-Floyd, who is an associate professor of political science at Rutgers University. You're not in the Capitol, but looking on at those scenes, your reaction?
Well, many people have been commenting, including President-elect Joe Biden, that this doesn't represent America. Actually, it does. While we have not seen the Capitol breached since the early 1800s, violence is very much a part of the fabric of our country. And as many of us have been trying to highlight, over the past several years, and especially the past several months, what President Trump, along with the Republican leadership, has been doing is setting the stage for this moment. And I want to underscore that though this is a very sad day, looking at these images it's disturbing and it's shocking, but frankly, I am not surprised. And others who are paying attention are not surprised too. The president has been very openly laying the groundwork for a coup. And he's been doing it brazenly. He has been doing it publicly. And importantly, he has been doing it with the assistance of the Republican leadership. And so this is not something that we can simply lay at the feet of President Trump. Mitch McConnell is trying to do damage control, which is why he made sure that the discussion around the objections didn't go on as was previously anticipated. It's why Vice President Pence is falling in line with trying to condemn violence. It's frankly too little too late. We had Mitch McConnell, Secretary of State, Attorney General, a whole slew of people aiding and abetting the president's consistent stated plan not to honor the election results if he did not win. Mm-hmm. What is really problematic is the way in which we have really, many people have been in denial about this, and there is a lot that has to be answered for by not only President Trump, but really the entire Republican establishment.
And does it stop here, Nikol? Does this violence, this support that we've seen for Trump, people, incredible, going in with weapons, and we know there is an investigation, we'll wait to hear about that. But I guess my question to you is, looking at that video from Donald Trump telling his supporters to go home, do they really now go home? Do they stop?
I would not be surprised if we had additional violence going forward. And in part because the president has, again, been very consistent. We saw, and you've been talking about this in your coverage as well, the president really spending most of the time in his video on Twitter talking about how he is aggrieved by basically having this election supposedly stolen from him. He's called them beloved. He's treating them as if they are patriots. And part of how Trump has been successful is to attack free media, free and open press, to suggest that everything that doesn't agree with his agenda is somehow false or fake news. And many of his supporters live in a parallel universe in terms of the media coverage that they get, and they discount, right, cognitive bias on steroids, discount anything that is said that doesn't already affirm their views about politics, including this election. So we have quite a bit of turmoil ahead. And I disagree with those who are saying that what we need to do is really just put this behind us, or let's pay attention now and to the questions around voter election fraud, because that's actually the opposite of what needs to happen. We know that voter suppression is real. voter suppression is real, not voter fraud.
Nikol, I just want to jump back to that point that you made about the media and their responsibility. We know Twitter has taken down that video by President Trump where he's telling his supporters to go home. We've heard also Snapchat and Facebook blocking President Trump from posting. Too little, too late? We know they have taken action in the past, but too little, too late, would you say?
Absolutely too little, too late. Look, many people don't understand basic civics here. They don't understand rights. No right is absolute. And free speech rights are subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. And so it's not actually something that is violative of free speech rights to basically control speech that is false, that is hate speech, that is inciting violence. President Trump has strategically been using available platforms. And we know that we have monopolies in place with Facebook and some of these other media organizations, and that's something that has to be addressed as well. So what the media has facilitated, social media in particular, is especially important to look at. President Trump has not gotten to this point alone, right? He is an important target, right, in terms of scrutiny. But if we don't understand the full range of forces that brought him to power and also that have led up to this moment, we're going to really miss a whole lot of things. This is a systemic issue. It's not an issue about tactical failure for the Capitol Police. Not at all. What it shows is the way in which police don't treat white citizens in the same way that they do people of color. And it also raises questions about the extent to which members of the Capitol Police were actually in collusion with the plans that we saw unfold on today.
Nikol, you raise really, really interesting points there. And as you say, he has not got to this point alone. Thank you very much indeed for sharing your opinion and giving us your time on this important day for America. Thank you.